Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I'm bringing you a series of 2 Warhammer battles, so there'll be another one uploaded after this one. It was, both of them are going to be a 3v3, and they're with the majority of the same players, so we played 2 games back-to-back, and I had a blast in both of them, so I'm going to upload both of them to the channel. So this is the first one. As you can see, I am playing as the Empire. And taking a look at my allies and enemies' army comps before the game begins. So I am playing with the Beastmen and the Warriors of Chaos on my side. And the enemies are the Greenskins, Bretonia, and the Vampire Counts. So let's take a look at the armies here. So for me, I'm bringing 2 units of Great Cannon and 1 unit of Hellstorm Rocket Battery in the front. And then I've got 3 units of Handgunners. And then I have, I believe, 5 or 6 units of swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So 6 units of swordsmen. And then I've got 4 units of Halberdiers. On the 2 on each flank. And I've got Karl Franz in the center. And that's my army. So looking at the Beastmen, he's got some Ungor Spearman Herd. Looks like 4 units of them. And then he's got some Bestigor Herd. I think he has 1 unit on each flank of that. Yes. And he has 2 units of Chaos Spawn. Looking especially ugly. And I think that's mostly it. He's got 2 units of Centaurs with great weapons as well. These guys are awesome. Probably my favorite cav in Warhammer. They just look epic. Ready for battle. So I think that's pretty much his army. He's got a couple of Ungor Raiders in the front as well. And, of course, his general, Kazrak the One-Eye. He is ready for battle, ready for bloodshed. And then zooming over to the other side, so the Chaos Army is split on 2 flanks. So he's got 2 units of Chaos Marauders here in the front. And then on the far flank, he's got 2 units of Chaos Warriors with halberds and 2 units of Chaos Warriors with great weapons. So pretty expensive right flank there. And then way over here on the right, he's got 3 units of Aspiring Champions and some Marauder Horsemen. And then he's got a little collection of Sorcerers here. He's got Chaos Sorcerer Metal, an Exalted Hero, Chaos Sorcerer of Death, and Archeon the Ever-Chosen. And he's got Chaos Warhounds as well. So that finishes up the Allies' force. So looking at Bretonia's force, he's got some Mounted Yeomen, some Grail Knights, some Foot Squires, Battle Pilgrims, and then he's got a lot of these Spearmen and Men-at-Arms. So pretty basic peasant infantry. And he has a Field Trebuchet and just a regular Lord. And he's got 4 units of Peasant Bowmen in the front. He's got some Questing Knights on the other flank. So that pretty much sums up his army. The Greenskins, they've got a lot of Orc Biggins. 2 units of them. Grimgor Ironhide is their general. He's got 3 units of the Elite Black Orcs here. And he's got 3 units of the Savage Orc Arrow Boys. And I think he has some calves somewhere. Oh, he's got an Arachnarok. I forgot about him. He's got some Orc Boys over here. Yeah, he's got some Orc Boar Boy Biggins. So he's got 1 unit of these cav. And last but not least, we're looking at the Vampire Count. So he's got some Cairn Wraiths on the front lines there. He's got some Fell Bats. And he's got some Skeleton Spearmen. He's got some Skeleton Swords, some Crypt Horrors. He's got some Graveguard in the front, very elite. More Crypt Horrors, Graveguard with great weapons. And that's pretty much it. He's got some Fellbats there as well. And Manfred von Karstein is the Lord. So yeah, let's start this battle and see what happens. So right away I noticed that we did have the artillery advantage because I was the only one that brought artillery, so I'm definitely going to utilize that to my advantage. Let's watch the Hellstorm Rocket Battery fire here. Ooh, yep. Yeah, doing a lot of damage to the Greenskins. He was pretty bunched up here at the start of the battle. So I'm definitely gonna try and get some early good harassment off and force them to come to us. Oh, you can see the cannon. Oh, yes. And yeah, I think he realizes that he's going to need to charge forward on this one. On the far side, you can see that my Beastman ally is pretty much going right in with the Chaos Forces over here. So they are not slowing down. These bats always make it so framey. But yeah, you can see I'm doing quite a bit of damage to the greenskin player. And the Chaos Warriors are going to try and hold back the greenskins on this flank. The greenskin player, he does want to send his forces over to this way, but that is going to be a tough battle against the Chaos Warriors with great weapons and the Warriors with halberds. They're very elite. Moving over to where most of the fight is, the Bretonnian player is taking on kind of two armies, so he's having a bit of a hard time. The Senegors getting a nice charge off on the foot squires there. You can see more spearmen being committed to take care of the Senegors. And the Vampire Counts, they deployed quite a ways back, so they didn't really actually get into the battle until quite towards the end. But you can see I'm getting some nice shots with my handgunners on these Grail Knights here. Oh yeah, look how many I killed with that, just a couple volleys. So I haven't really even committed any of my forces, which is crazy. Looking at the stats, we've got 3,360 versus 3,200. So we do have the edge a little bit. I noticed that a lot of the greenskin forces were clumped up over here, so I'm targeting them with my artillery. And you can see that I'm sending forwards Karl Franz as well, or I will eventually send him over here. Let's get a shot of the fighting here. Ragnarok versus the Chaos Warriors. Oh, we got some more volleys coming over. Oh, yeah. So let's do a bit of slow-mo here, so you guys don't miss. The battles in Warhammer are just so fast. So you can see that the Bretonnian player has pretty much crumbled. The combined weight of the Beastmen / Chaos forces on this side has completely broken them. Now the Vampire Counts are going to take a stab at defending this flank. Yeah, you can see. To be honest, the Bretonnians are pretty underpowered in my opinion. A lot of their militia units just do not stand up to the heavily armored units of Chaos. But you can see that he's still got his Grail Knights kind of running around, getting some rear charges, but I haven't even committed my force yet, which is ridiculous. I think my artillery really kind of forced them into quickly attacking without forming up properly. So you can see, yeah, like all of my soldiers are pretty much healthy still at this point. But the battle is still pretty close to even. You can see that the Chaos player over here, he is withdrawing from this fight, because look at the damage that the Chaos Warriors with halberds are taking. The Orc boys, along with the Black Orcs and Grimgor Ironhide and the Arachnarok, are doing quite a good job. You can see that I'm sending some Halberdiers around this flank to support my ally. But pretty much all forces from the enemies have been committed, so that's a good thing. So let's go back to regular speed here. Let's zoom in and take a look at some of this Beastmen / Crypt Horror fighting. Oh, that Crypt Horror knocked that Minotaur down. Oh, he's dead too. Wow. How are we looking over here? Some scattered pockets of fighting. Yeah, you can see the Grail Knights, they went for a charge on my swords, but I was able to block it, and now I'm firing at them with my handgunners as they retreat, because they're going to get a nice charge into the back of these Ungor spearmen. And that's going to be pretty deadly. They're sandwiched between the Skeleton Warriors and the Grail Knights. Just still shelling them to death over here. You can see I'm pushing my Halberdiers up. And then I see the Arachnarok coming straight for us, and I was like, no, I should probably get out of there. I don't want to be caught all alone, but the Arachnarok is going to catch me, unfortunately. Ooh. The Arachnarok is just so deadly. I've got my other unit of Halberdiers as well. Looking over on this side here, the vampire counts are holding, but just barely. A lot of my infantry is now moving forwards. I'm going to commit my Halberdiers over onto this flank because some of the Bretonnian spears are returning to the battle. And I want to get my Halberdiers in with those Crypt Horrors because they are anti-large. You can see Manfred is just trying to inspire his men to keep them from crumbling. In the center, I'm pushing a lot of my swords. I'm kind of splitting them off into the groups where people are still fighting. And I'm pushing 2 of my swords around on this flank to harass these archers because they're getting some good rear shots. And there's Karl Franz. You can see that he's engaged in the battle now. Just wrecking these Black Orcs. I wonder if it's the snow that makes it so framey too, because my battles in Warhammer are usually pretty stable, but... Oh, look at the arrow fire coming in. They're just destroying a lot of their own troops in the process of trying to get Karl. How much damage are they doing? A decent amount, actually. Oh, and good play here. We got the Orc Boy Biggins. War Boy Biggins. They did charge into my swords to hold them up a little bit longer. But you can see the Bretonnian player is completely broken off the field. Looks like just Manfred is left on this side. And the Greenskins are breaking, and that's going to be the battle. So a very epic battle. Let's take a look at the results. Not exactly close, but it was still pretty awesome, I think, anyways. So getting some good kills with my artillery. Handgunners doing really well. A lot of my troops just not really seeing a lot of combat. Ghetto, he was the Chaos player. So all around pretty solid in his kills. Nobody getting too insane. Well, this Exalted Hero got almost 100, so that's not bad. And the Beastman player, I believe that would stand for Monday 573R. His Bestigor Herd, this one getting 172 kills. That's really good. And his Chaos Spawn, 185. So he did really solid against the Bretonnian player. Dargo the Infinite. I would say pretty good. These Orc Biggins did really well considering their cost, but the Black Orcs really suffered. But to be honest, Dargo the Infinite, he got hit with pretty much all of my artillery, so... cold one with the boys as the Bretonnians. His infantry, they did try, but like look at his archers. Like just the peasants really don't stand up. I wish that CA would make them a little bit stronger. It's really one of the main reasons I don't play the Bretonnian factions, just because they don't really field that many good units. But his Trebuchet getting 85 kills, so that's good. And then the Big Chief himself, him doing pretty solid. His Cryptor is doing okay, and his Greatsword's doing alright as well. So yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more Warhammer content in the future, and I will see you in the next one.